Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you're here. Today we're going to be doing my May wrap up and my June TBR, so let's just get straight on into it. Starting off with all the books that I read in May, honestly, it was a pretty slow reading month for me. I had a lot going on. I actually got engaged, which is super exciting, and then one of my best friends moved away for like her big girl job, so I spent a lot of time celebrating and also just like saying goodbye to my friend and spending as much time with friends and family as possible. I am super happy with all three of the books that I read though, and they all turned out super good. The first one was Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I'm gonna rate this one 4 stars. It's basically like another STEMness novel by her. It's basically about this neuroengineer named Bee, and she gets this job to work for NASA on like this huge project for astronauts. She ends up figuring out that she's gonna have like a co-engineer on the project, and it's actually this guy named Levi who she went to college with. She was like, oh, Levi hates my guts, like I cannot get through this, like literally there's no way on God's green earth that we can like get through this together. Kind of an enemies to lovers, not really, because it's mainly like an enemies to lovers in her head, not really in his head. I don't know, I thought it was really cute. Their relationship's super cute and interesting too, and I always feel like Ali Hazelwood puts in a really good twist. I kind of thought I knew who the twist was going to be about, I just didn't know how exactly the twist was going to come about or what it would be. And the twist was good, but it almost went like too far to the standpoint, like I was reading this, I was like, ugh. I was like, Ali, you did not just put that in there. I just love this book though. It was super intriguing, kept me reading the whole entire time. I was super interested in it, and I don't know, it's a good solid 4-star read. Next up, we have a very highly anticipated book for me, and that is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. This book took me a lot longer than I thought it would take me to read, and I honestly think that was just because I was enjoying it so much and I didn't want the stories to be over. Obviously, it's the last book in a 7-book series, so I don't really want to give anything away, but basically this is like the final battle between Harry and Voldemort, and it's just so good. Instant 5-star because it's the end of a 5-star series, and I love these books. If you have not read the Harry Potter books, I feel like they're like obviously super popular and super hyped up, but I haven't really seen like a lot of booktubers or book talkers, anybody like that, like talking about them lately. Maybe because it's just not like fall and like whatever, like people aren't like in the mood to read these, but they are classics, and if you haven't read them and you want to get into fantasy, I feel like this is a perfect way to get into it. The way the story wrapped up was just everything, and I love these books. Like, I just love them so much. I don't know what else I can say without giving away stuff, so we're just gonna put this down. The last book that I read in the month of May was The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. The more I think about this book, the more I realized how much I really did enjoy it. Like, I was literally like smiling and smirking and laughing the whole entire time I was reading it. So I'm gonna give this one a 4.5 stars. It's basically about Nathan and Bree, and they're like best friends. They've been best friends since high school. They've been through so much together. He is a professional football player, and she runs her own little like dance studio, which is really cool. This is my first like sports romance, and I actually really enjoyed like that whole plot of it all. Basically, they both think that they're stuck in the friend zone, but they're both like madly in love with each other. There's also a little fake dating plot that they get into, which is most of the book, and it's like an easy way for them to kind of like test the waters with each other. This is my first book by Sarah Adams too, and she did a really good job, and I just really enjoyed her writing too. It's very like wholesome and happy and like cheesy, but in a good way. I just absolutely loved it. I thought it was so cute. Okay, these are the 3 books that I ended up reading in the month of May. Now let's go ahead and get into my June TBR. We're starting off strong with this first one, and it is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Was this on my May TBR? Yes. Did I get to it? No, but I'm really determined to get to this one this month. I really want to read it. It's just so hyped up everywhere, and I've heard so much about it. It's basically a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but in like a different type of fantasy world, and I just want to get into it so bad. I also feel like since I finished Harry Potter, like I have the capacity to get into it. I don't know how people read like more than one fantasy series at a time. Like I don't think I can do that. I feel like I just get too distracted, and like too many plot lines and stories are going on at once that like my brain just can't handle it. So I'm very excited to hopefully start this new series this next month. Speaking of series, we have another one right here. This is the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. So we've got The Summer I Turned Pretty, we have It's Not Summer Without You, and then We'll Always Have Summer. These are all written by Jenny Han. If you guys don't know, which you're probably living under a rock if you don't. There is a series of this on Netflix, and season 1 came out last summer and season 2 is about to come out, I think like July 17th or something like that. So I want to read all 3 of these by the time that comes out. It's basically about this girl named Belly, and every single summer her brother and her mom go visit her mom's best friend and her 2 sons in Cousins Beach. They are YA books, so that makes it even more perfect because they're just like easy to get through, and it just has like a good summery vibe. In the first book, it's basically like the first time that Belly has like kind of like grown into herself. Like she kind of feels more like a woman now. I absolutely love the first season of this series, and I feel like these will honestly be no different. I just think the characters and the whole plot line of it all is very interesting. There's definitely like a love triangle of sorts going on too, and I've just been wanting to read these for a really long time, so I am very excited. The next book we got is kind of like a booktube classic. It's Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I feel like everyone I've heard talk about this book is just absolutely obsessed with it. So many people have this as a 5-star read. I know it's like a childhood friends to lovers second chance kind of vibe, so I'm very excited for that. And then it's also a then and a now kind of plot line, which I also love because it kind of like adds a little bit of like mystery to it too, and I just find that like very interesting. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like everybody loves this book and it's finally time for me to read it. And then we have When in Rome by Sarah Adams. As you can tell, I really liked the last Sarah Adams book that I read, so I'm very excited for this one, and I've also heard so many great things about it. It's basically about this pop star. She's just like super burnt out from work and stuff like that, so she wants a little vacation, so she goes to Rome. And it's not like Rome, like I think it's just like a random town in the US called Rome, and I think her car breaks down or something like that, so this guy right here ends up helping her. I think his name is Noah and the girl's name is Amelia, and I don't know, I think something ends up happening in the little town of Rome. But yeah, that's basically all I know about it. I'm just really excited because I really liked the last book that I read by Sarah Adams, as you can tell, and I've heard so many great things, and I don't know, I feel like it's just gonna be the perfect little rom-com moment. And Practice Makes Perfect just came out, which is like a little partner novel to this, so I'm very excited to continue with this little like rom-com-y series. And then finally we have another super popular book on Book Talk and BookTube and all the things, Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I have been dying to read a Lucy Score book since I started reading, and I just haven't been able to get to it yet, and I am so excited. It's kind of like a small town romance type feel. There's basically these 2 twins, Naomi and Tina, and Tina's kind of just like she's messed up here, and Naomi ends up going to the little town of Nakamau to kind of like help her sister and stuff like that, but then Tina just kind of like, she's like, peace out. And I know there's this guy named Knox who's kind of like in the mix too. I don't know like a lot about this book. I don't really like spoiling books before I read them because I just don't, I don't know, it makes it less fun to like read it, you know what I mean? Basically Knox just ends up kind of helping Naomi, and that's about it that I know. But it's really hyped up, and I am so excited to get into this author. I'm so excited. I feel like every time I do a book video, I say super excited about like 5 gajillion times, so I apologize for that. If you'd like to let me know any other words I could use besides that, leave them in the comments down below. Alright, that is a wrap on my May wrap up and my June TBR. Let me know if you have any thoughts on these books right here or any recommendations for me. Please put them in the comments down below. And if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment a disco ball emoji so I know that you made it to the end of the video. And also don't forget to like and subscribe and all those YouTube things if you want to see more videos from me and if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.